Hi, everybody. Uh, Want to give you a little bit of context for the readings this week and what work is due for next week, which you could always see on our schedule as well, which is the same place where you found this video. So we're reading about a couple of figures writing during a resurgence in the study of rhetoric after World War II in the United States. Kenneth Burke and Wayne Booth were two huge influences on rhetoric in the mid-20th century, or the second half of the 20th century, we could say. The piece from Burke, especially, is written against the backdrop of a new mass media environment at that time and the ongoing problem of mass propaganda. Most notably, thinking about the Nazi Party in the 1930s, but other places too. Burke's framing of rhetoric and of identification is really focused on division and violence and echoes the ways that we might think about social media and polarization today. Even, of course, it's different, but some things might sound familiar. So Booth is writing later. This is from a book published in 2004 in the piece you're going to read from him, but he's part of the same movement of the middle 20th century scholars trying to, rediscover rhetoric as a way to understand the world around them. In the piece by Booth, he's concerned with positioning rhetoric as a way for people to understand one another, to deal with misunderstandings. Similar to Burke, you can really feel the influence of World War II kind of echoing in some of his thinking. So for Wednesday and Thursday, remember Thursday is a Wednesday at Brooke this upcoming week, we turn to feminist alternatives to some of these approaches that were starting to form in the middle of the 20th century. And this is, the two readings are more the end of the 20th and then into the 21st century. So Krista Radcliffe, like Booth, is interested in misunderstandings, but more from a perspective of whose voices get lost and why, and how listening can help. So thinking about a resuscitation of rhetoric by focusing much more on listening. Moreover, doing this work for Radcliffe is paramount for more concrete navigation of misunderstandings by specific different people. In the case of race, gender, and other ways to think about differences. So think about that in more concrete terms rather than the more abstract democratic ideals that sometimes come through in scholars like Booth and Burke. Lisa Blankenship, my co-teacher, she's extending Radcliffe's work through a focus on empathy to consider the speaker's role in change as much as the audience, as well as the role of the personal and emotional in rhetorical exchange. So on Monday, please complete the two annotations for Burke, the two annotations for Booth. Complete your discussion post by the end of the day that Monday, where you're taking an annotation you read and extending it a little bit and some writing, working out your thoughts. So do that by the end of the day on Monday. For Wednesday, please complete the annotations for Radcliffe. And then on Thursday, when we meet, please complete the annotations for Blankenship before class, as well as there's also a short writing assignment about defining rhetoric. That'll be due by the end of the day on Thursday as well. So I know this week's a little bit weird, but just stay on top of things. You should be okay. I also wanted to note that the Blankenship reading, it's not the entire PDF, but I think Lisa just wanted you to have more of the book. But you can on the schedule it says the specific page numbers. For the Burke piece, also there's you can just start under the heading of identification, the sort of half page before that you don't have to read. And then finally, one final note. Please look on our website for the essay assignment, Placing Yourself in the Tradition of Rhetoric. The first draft is due on March 10th. So, you should be thinking about that now. It's just a first draft on March 10th, but you still, we'll have to get to work on it soon to get it done and in good shape so we can give you good comments on it. And speaking of comments, we'll get you comments soon on your presentations about Beyond Greek and Roman Rhetoric. That's it for me, and I'll see you next week.